Halls of 4 seasons lost. In Austin, I saw pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors appear, click, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and today it's NCAA Championship Monday, number one. Number two, of course, I'm wearing my Masters colors, because guess what? It is Masters Week. So I'm excited about that, and of course, Tiger Woods has been seen working out last week, and then he turned around and was back yesterday. Warming up for about an hour, and then he, of course, played the back nine, which, of course, everybody knows that the back nine on Sunday is win or lose. And, of course, in 2019, when he won his 15th overall major, his fifth Masters title was won on the back nine when Molinari hit it in the water, and, of course, Koepka hit it in the water, and Finau hit it in the water, and opened the door. And, of course, it does what everybody else does with Tiger. He forces them to press, and if you play golf, you know you can't press. You have to stay in the moment. You have to stay in the shot, because if you don't, only disaster happens or is awaiting for you, and that's what happened in 2019. All these guys talked about how they can't wait to play Tiger in his element, blah, blah, blah. And remember, before Butch Koepka beat him and in the PGA, and then when Molinari beat him, they were behind him. They weren't playing with him. But Molinari was playing with him is when it all happened. When Butch Koepka was playing in front of him, that's when they made the mistakes, because you know he's coming, or you know that you got to deal with the gallery. So, and you know, 16, I don't know if you, those of you who saw him when Tiger hit it close on 16, Koepka's teeing off on 17, and he's looking over there to see what happens. So it doesn't matter if he's playing behind you or you're playing with him. If you're playing behind him, yeah, the pressure's not as great because, you know, he's in front of you, and it makes it a little bit easier to compete. So, but anyway, got him on Masters colors. Cannot wait for this weekend. Hopefully Tiger is going to play. He says he's a last-minute decision, but I believe that Thursday, when he went there last Thursday or Friday, I think he went there, he walked the course. I think his leg didn't hurt him as bad as what he thought. The pain was probably manageable. You could stick it into an ice bucket, do some PT, whatever. I'm sure he's going to have his medical staff there with him. And then, of course, yesterday, coming back, hitting for an hour, going through his routine. So we shall see if he shows back up to play. And so that's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Now, as far as the world of sports is concerned, of course, the Final Four, men's basketball is tonight. Women's was last night. And what a great game with South Carolina and UConn, of course. The Gamecocks, the Lady Gamecocks, I guess they're just the Gamecocks. They came out on top 64-49 over UConn. And when you look at it, UConn, I believe, what was he? Gino was 11-0 in championship games. Of course, Don Staley was 1-0 in her one and only championship game as a coach. Now she's 2-0, and she's the first person to take down Gino. So that was good, but you could see in this game that South Carolina was clearly the best team. It wasn't even close. Still a 15. I mean, UConn made a run at it, but at the same time, South Carolina was just in control pretty much from beginning to end. And, of course, Paige Walker, her being hurt, I think her being hurt hurt the chemistry with UConn. And then when they came back to play, you can see South Carolina just dominated. But, of course, when you have the National Player of the Year in offense and the defensive player that you're on your team should win. And so that's exactly what happened last night when South Carolina came back and beat UConn 64-49 to capture Don Staley's second national title. And a lot of people think that she'll be the first women's coach in the NBA. I still find it hard a woman to coach men in the NBA. I'm sure it's possible down the road, but right now I just don't see that happening anytime in the future. So, but anyway, we're joined by my boy Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. How you doing, big fella?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good,
Good day
man.
to be a Tar Heel fan. Good day to be a Tar Heel fan.
Why, we're not even, dude, we're way away from talking about that mess. Why are you jumping in with that right away?
Both feet first.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Here we go. By the way.
How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. By the way, those were some sweet-ass Georgia you had on, man.
Yeah.
Those things were.
Dude, those are nice.
Those were nice, bro. I showed all my kids. They were like, "Oh, coach, those are nice. Can he hook me up?" I go, "No. Have your parents hook you up, boy. What's wrong with you? You know how to get online? Get that credit card and handle your business. You can get your baby blues." Well, yeah, it's gonna be good. But anyway, we're gonna get into that last. Or do you want to talk about it first to get it out of the way?
No, we can talk about it last. That's fine. We'll
okay.
Get my picks in there.
Oh, my God. Picks? There's one pick today. There's one game. What pick?
Yep.
There's
Two
one
picks.
Game.
The over and the points.
I know that. But you know what's so funny is I was listening to somebody today. They were talking about how the NBA doesn't support college basketball the way that the NFL supports college football. They don't look at it the same. And I was like, that is true. But on the other side of that, there are no NBA games tonight.
Nope.
On March Madness Final Four championship game, there are 0 NBA games. So if they didn't support them, what is that? You know what I'm saying, Drew?
Yeah, I mean that's for sure. I mean you got to figure your TV viewership is probably going to be down. For the NBA tonight, especially with a good college, especially with a good game with 2 marquee programs.
Yep, 2 and 1 coach and 1 upcoming coach who we'll talk about how nobody really wanted Hubert Davis and what he's done for that. So, but anyway, we're gonna get into a little football, and the Browns owner Haslam said he admitted that he was had a minority ownership in the Steelers, and then they bought the Browns. Well, he admits after 10 years that they probably didn't know what they were doing when they came in. I'm like, well, that's because you thought you could run it like your business. I'm going to step in. I'm the smartest person in the room. I'm going to run anything. Well, no, not in NFL. You got to hire smart people who've been in the situation, who know what's up. I mean, you should have learned that being in the Steelers organization,
Yeah, hire people smarter than you.
Yes, because, and then Arthur Blank's over there talking about, oh, we were slightly interested in Deshaun. What? What? Slightly interested. Okay. Whatever. Why would you have asked Matt Ryan to hold off on getting his money if that was not the case? So, whatever with that. But what I was trying to say is how ownership matters in sports.
Oh, yeah.
Ownership matters. When you look at the NFL, we're going to start out there, and of course, we're going to get into basketball. When you start out there, you look at the Steelers, perennial winners. Why? Great ownership.
Great ownership.
Okay? You look at that, and you look at the Miami Dolphins. They're a shit show. Ownership, not that great. Dumpster fire. Okay, that's a better way to put it. But, same thing. You look at the Cowboys, your team. Jerry Jones' ego got in the way. They would have won. I don't know. They've probably been the first team, other than the Packers, to win 3 straight NFL championships had he left Jimmy in charge. They probably would have won 4 in a row instead of 3 out of 4. So ownership matters. And Jerry, now, when it comes to ownership and his players, I don't think nobody loves their players more than he does. You know what I'm saying?
I think Jerry's problem, he's got family underneath him where he needs to go outside the family and hire the general manager.
Well, now let's face it, his son has helped him, has pulled him off the ledge, and has got him to do some things. Because remember, when they drafted that offensive line, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to draft players, so he did listen to his son, and it changed the program or the franchise around when they went out and drafted those offensive linemen. So He did do that, but I agree with you on that side. And then when you look at, who the other teams, you look at Chicago, you would think that they would have better ownership. It's like, okay, you've got this rookie quarterback who has tons of potential. Go get him some wide receivers. DK Metcalf can be head and trade. Go get DJ. Give the guy a chance. Hey, Drew, while he's cheap. And then you look at the Packers. The Packers are not owned by an owner, so the pressure's not on them as much. And when you look at the Packers and look at what they do, it's funny because Aaron Rodgers got all this money. They got rid of his one weapon, and they haven't tried to go get any wide receivers, Drew. None.
Nope.
Do you think that
it's kind of a?
Do you think that they're trying to say, okay, Aaron, you wanted it, you won, we gave you all this money, now go do it?
Yeah. What are you gonna do for me now?
Because remember, next year they could trade him, and have a $50 million opening in their salary. And they could trade him and go get whomever and quarterback. They go get, quarterback draft is strong. So, man, that might be secretly. They're like, we're done with him. We're going to pay him for the 1 year. We're going to get our butts beat out. They haven't had a losing season in forever. So it's like, hey, we're going to say, okay, you're going to get your money. Now go win. We're paying you $50 million. You wanted all the money, couldn't afford to pay anybody else, so go get your money. I mean, go see if you're worth it. If not, get rid of him next year.
Right.
Have an opening, because when you look at the Lakers, same thing with Russell. If you trade him, everybody goes, you keep them together. Why would you keep them together? It doesn't work, clearly.
Nope.
It just doesn't. So why get rid of him? Let somebody else take on that $48 million for next year. They can get rid of that. That opens up tons of salary cap room to do whatever. And if you're the Lakers, why are you going to waste one more year of LeBron by playing it with Westbrook?
Yeah.
Because they're just
I don't know. After LeBron's ordeal last week, playing, not playing, I'm just I'm on board with trading him this summer. Trade him and Westbrook together.
Yeah, but you know what? Ownership matters. You know what I'm saying? And Jeannie, she's trying to right the ship a little bit, but I don't think that her dad would have let LeBron come in there and say, "Hey, we're going to." No, son, we're the Lakers. We tell you. You could have had DeMarco Rosen, and you could have had Buddy Held. You just still would have had Caruso, and you could have had what's his name? What's his name? The shooter that's at Washington. KP. What is his name?
Bradley Beal.
No. That was at the Lakers. Which was KCP. And you have him, and I'm just like, he can defend, Caruso can defend. They both didn't mind their deal. You've got AD. Now all of a sudden you got DeMarco Rosen, and you have Buddy Hield. So you have shooters and stuff. I mean, you got players everywhere. I didn't understand it, but no, LeBron just wanted his buddies and like, oh, we can go win this. No, you're old. You can't defend. You can't. Once again, ownership matters.
You can't shoot.
No. I mean, how many good lead did they have Friday night? 20, what was it, 24? 7 points with 3 minutes to go, and you can't get it done? You can't close the door? Then he doesn't even play in his last game.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, you
I'm sorry, but you got to play. If you got a chance, unless you got a broke ankle, I mean, you got to try to play. You got 5 games left.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well,
not everyone to criticize somebody on an injury. It must be worse. I'm taking word for it. It must be worse than it is. But he just played the night before.
Right. And maybe that's what it was. He couldn't play back-to-back because he went for 30, whatever. But you shot an air ball on the game-winning shot. You had 2 guys jumping at you, and you don't have a move because you shoot a flat-footed jump shot.
And missed 2 free throws right before that.
Right before that. So, but, that's why I said I can't go with him as the best player in the world. Dude,
no.
You're not. You take games off. Jordan never took games off.
Nope. Kobe never took games off.
Kobe either. And guess what? Nobody's really afraid of you because they know you can't stop them defensively. They can do whatever they want. But I will say this. It was nice getting AD back. I will say that. It was nice getting him back. But, Drew, ownership matters. You look at the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban. He makes everything right. What does he do? Takes care of his players. makes ownership right. The Thunder, we're in ownership flux right now, Drew,
Yep.
because, Aubrey McClendon died, unfortunately, in a horrible accident, and Clay Bennett is not in the best of health. The other owners, I mean, and I love Bill Cameron. I'm like, dude, bro, do we want to win? You got a G, you brought up a G League coach to coach your team. And Drew, this is something that happened last night. Kat gave us her tickets behind the bench last night. Her and Rod Meyer have tickets behind the Thunder bench. And I don't really like them down there because I can't really see the whole game from down there. I love being up at club level, and Randy, seats that Randy, Randy has for us. That way I can watch those games. So anyway, I'm down there. And the coach is talking in a timeout. And several of our players, Drew, they're not even paying attention. Now, they're not playing. They're not even paying attention to what he's saying at all, okay? The game is going on. One of the assistants comes down to the bench to talk to, I think it was May Poku or somebody to come down and talk to him. Both of those players who I'm talking about, both leaned in to hear what he was saying. And I looked at my friend Mark. I was like, did you just see that? He goes, yeah, I saw that. Wow. I'm like, wow, Drew. The head coach is speaking. You're not paying attention to him at all in the timeout. The game's going on. The assistant comes down, speaking to somebody, and you both go in and listen to what the guy's saying?
And everybody's ears perk up.
Wow.
Wonder what that's all about.
Well, it's almost like the Lakers and Frank Vogel. He's done.
He's on the first train now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They tune him. At some point, they will tune you out if they don't respect you or they don't like whatever's going on. They tune you out.
And I kind of feel for Vogel a little bit because he didn't put that team together.
No, he did not.
He just coaching what he's giving right there. He's trying to make the best of it.
There's no question about that. He did not want that group. There's no doubt about that. And I feel sorry for him, Drew, because it's.
I mean, what do you do every night? You don't know who's going to play. You don't know if LeBron's going to play. You don't know if AD's going to play. You don't know if Carmelo's going to play. And one thing for certain, Westbrook's going to play.
Yeah. Well, we know he's going to play. They're going to get every bit of that money they're paying him this year. But, on the other side of that, Drew, I look at it and I'm like, well, look at all the guys, Wesley Johnson. You have all these guys with DNP, coach's decision.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I can't imagine trying to put a lineup card together every night with that group.
I'm like, you got Austin Reeves out there playing. I mean, DNP him. He can't defend nobody. He can't guard nobody. He can't even shoot. He don't shoot. He's a body out there.
Yeah, he ain't made a shot in a while either.
And I'm like, now, is he out there running the offense? Sure. Okay. Is he a poor man's Alex Caruso? No, because he can't even defend. Alex Caruso could defend. He can't defend. It's just, man. And, the Phoenix game last night, and the Phoenix game with the Thunder, Phoenix they came out, I thought they were going to blow us out. They were getting wide open jump shot after wide open jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
And they went 4 for their last 27, Drew.
God.
4 for their last 27. They couldn't make a shot.
That's
I'm just
amazing.
like, wow. But a lot of it had to do with the Thunder. And, of course, the Thunder making shots and rolling. And everybody's cheering, oh, go Lindy. And I'm like, yeah, he can't play. And I'm going to do this show after that. And I'm looking at the Thunder's roster, where everybody came from. And I'm looking at Phoenix's roster from wherever they came from. And I'm thinking, this used to what our roster used to look like when we had KD and Russell and Harden and Ibaka. That's what the roster used to look like. Now, you got all these European. I'm like, just because you can play in Europe don't mean you can play over here. Come over here, go to college. If you're a European player, you come over here, you go to college, and you dominate over here, yeah, I draft you. Because guess what? You're European born. You're not a European player. And all we've got are European players. They're born over there. They're European players that come over here, they're still European player. Just like, where's me out? But once again, Drew, ownership matters. So without ownership, I mean, we're in flux right now. Because what happens if Clay passes away? Your two guys that are most instrumental in bringing the Thunder here are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And, Bill has I think he still has the old WNBA team that was in Tulsa that nobody supported. Tulsa, they were mad because they did get the Thunder, so they got the WNBA team, which they did support. So they go down to Dallas, and they're doing well down there because Dallas is like, hey, we're a professional city. We'll do whatever. We got a team. Let's support them. So, ownership matters.
Right.
Now, I look at all this stuff, and you look at baseball, and you look at the Cubs, and you look at the Dodgers. The Dodgers are well run. There's ownership. It just amazes me how these owners, I don't get some of them. You know what I mean? I mean, because the Cincinnati Bengals owner, he's a notorious cheapie. Now all of a sudden he's spending money because he's like, oh shit, I didn't spend any money. I could have won a Super Bowl ring. But your problem is now you got lucky because Tannehill threw whatever interception he threw. I still don't know what he was looking at the end of the game, so you can even get past them. I mean, it's almost a Baker Mayfield type deal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was just crazy. So anyway, all right, brother, we're going to take a quick break, then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about that blue team.
Yeah, buddy.
So you'll be all happy. All right.
It's getting close.
Oh, my God. Okay, everybody, hold on a second. We'll be right back with my boy Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com talking about, of course, the NCAA championship game and his beloved Tar Heels. You should see all the damn pictures he sees me and all that blue he's got. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we're back. Thank you for watching this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and we're with our boy Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. Getting ready to talk about. I'm doing good, brother. We're getting ready to talk about that damn game that you want to talk about.
Hey, it's going to be a great game.
And here it is, the Jayhawks versus the Tar Heels. And, Drew, what is so funny is that before...
Can we talk about beating Duke first? I mean, can we get that out there? Can we get it out there that we just ended Coach K again?
I was going to try to avoid that, but yeah, go ahead, man.
I mean, the first team he lost to, the last team he lost to twice.
In a row.
At home and in the Final Four. That had to sting.
In a row.
Yeah.
That's...
I mean, what a game, though. I mean, that lived up to the hype.
Yeah, it did. Dude, your boy Baycott, dude, him coming back, you know what I'm saying, made all the difference.
Yep.
It made all the difference in the world in that game. But the question is...
What do you have, 23 rebounds?
Something ridiculous, dude. He's just a beast, man. He is an absolute beast. And then your Davis just got whatever the hell he wanted, whatever the hell he wanted.
Yeah.
I mean,
They could. Well, we talked about it Friday.
Yep.
Duke, he exposed Duke last time. He was getting in the lane and doing whatever he wanted again. They couldn't stop him.
Couldn't stop him. I mean, absolutely couldn't stop him. But you know what? When you go back and you look at Duke during the tournament, they should have lost to Michigan State.
Yeah, that was 5 points. They were down 5 with what? 4 minutes left? 5
ago.
Minutes left?
So, then they came back and Tech. They made their last 8 straight shots against Tech to beat Tech.
Well, then you got Tech and Arkansas. Neither one of them shoot the ball very well.
No, you don't.
I mean, those guys missed a lot of open shots against Duke.
Yes, they
couldn't
did.
throw it in the ocean.
I mean, it's just but we knew that they couldn't shoot. We already knew that. They were both athletic, and let's face it, Arkansas came off of a huge win over Gonzaga. But that exposes Gonzaga that I've always talked about Gonzaga. Dude, you play out there in the BS conference, you wear out everybody, you get out here, you can't do anything. Dude, it's totally different. You're going against these teams that can play. And it's like those guys go to the league. They can't play.
No.
Timmy, he gonna be a perennial bench player just like every other Gonzaga forward. You can't defend. Can't defend, bro. And it's like our boy Brady.
Then on the other side of that, Villanova, they just ran out of gas. I mean, those guys, you could just tell they were so depleted. They tried. They hung in there as long as they could.
Yep. And that was, and Jay Wright, his last 2 championships, he had to beat who? Bill Self
Mm-hmm.
in the Final Four. So there was nice revenge back on Bill because Bill beat him the first time, won his first title. And Jay beat him the second time or 2 times in a row, and then Bill is back and beat him this last time. And so, but on the other side of that, your heels, dude, this first when they win their first one in New Orleans with Jordan. You think it's destiny?
Then they won it again in New Orleans in '94.
Yeah,
again with Chris Webber timeout.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
that is just crazy.
I mean, it's like I said, man, I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, I think they're the underdog again, obviously. I mean, KU's deeper. You know, but it's not a bad matchup for North Carolina. They match up pretty well with them. I mean, as long as they can stay out of foul trouble. I hope Baycott's ankle's 100% or at least ready to go, because if he gets in foul trouble, they're cooked. But if he can stay in the game,
well, you and I both have had ankle issues, and you and I both know, man, only one day off, that's not enough if you really hurt it. If it's just mildly sprained, you know, they'll shoot you. Well, excuse me, I won't shoot you up, but they'll give you some ibuprofen and put you out there and let you do your thing. So that on the other side has a deal. But I'm going to give your Tar Heels a little love here, Drew. Remember when we did the very first thing when we did the March Madness odds?
Mm-hmm.
UNC's not in
100
there.
100 to 1. No.
They're not in there at all.
Nope.
Gonzaga, the favorite, gone. Kentucky, the second favorite, gone. Zona, third favorite, gone. Duke, fourth favorite, gone. KU in. Everybody else gone. But no North Carolina.
No. It's a crazy. What we talked about it, though, is who's going to want to play them as an 8 seed coming through that tournament.
Yes.
You know, every game. They've gotten better and better every game. And Caleb Love is just nails.
Dude,
I mean, that guy, ice cold
Saturday
night.
You're right. He's probably gone.
Oh, he's gone. He ain't coming back. I mean, that dude, what a shot. I mean, pull up 3 over Williams, just put it away.
Just bam. That was but you know what though? He's been like that all year though, Drew. Really?
Yep.
He just didn't have the rest of them coming, hadn't caught up to him. And you got all these transfers that came in, made all the difference. God,
Brady Manick made some big shots Saturday night.
Yeah, he did. But like Brady, he could shoot it. But the problem with I've told everybody, I like Brady. I've known him since he was in high school. The problem with Brady is he can't put the ball on the ground, and he can't defend. And when I told his dad in high school, I wanted to train him, I said, Brady has potential, but he can't put the ball on the ground. You have to be able to dribble at that level because he could shoot it. But he has to be able to put the ball on the ground. And if you can't dribble, you can't take somebody off the dribble, you're in trouble at his height, who he's got to play against.
Right.
But if you leave him open, Drew, woo.
Boy. Ooh. That play where he caught the ball up above his head, came down, went straight back up, and hit that 3 from the corner.
Yep.
Wow. That was a big time shot.
Big time. But you know what? The guys, the least great shooters, where do they go? To the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Lindy Waters to the corner. Krejci, I'm just looking at our team to the corner. You look at the Lakers. Where do they go? Austin Reeves to the corner. These guys, if you're not that great of a three-point shooter, go to the corner because it's not as far, and go to the shot on the left if you're right-handed because you don't have to worry about the backboard and squaring your shoulders as much. So, I just look at it. I just laugh because to me, I'm unlike most people. I look for the little small things. I'm going, wow, okay, that's cool. I see what you're doing over there, homie. But most people aren't that in tune and they don't really care. But Brady, man, he's played really well. And he made a good decision getting out of the University of Oklahoma, going to North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dream season for him.
Yeah, but, dude, your boy, he was killing him every time he saw him. I was like, man, they're just attacking him.
Oh, yeah.
They just went right at him every time. Yeah. I mean, every time.
And then they stopped doing that.
And they stopped.
Duke got lulled into shooting threes.
Yep. I'm like, dude, I tell you, when you go to the league, they're gonna look at him, because I'm telling you, I watch teams play the Thunder, there's certain guys when they're on the floor, they go right at him. Like when the Lakers, anytime Carmelo's on the floor, what do they, Drew? They go right at him. They go right at him. They're trying to pat those stats. But when you look at tonight, Drew, here's the guy we got to break it down. The Jayhawks, coach, check. They have the advantage.
Yep.
Talent overall, they have a little bit of an advantage.
Slight advantage. I said that earlier.
Not a huge, but they have an advantage. Experience, they have an advantage.
Yep.
Because I believe the Big 12 conference is tougher than the ACC.
It is this year for sure.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, remember the Jayhawks, when COVID happened, they were that team he had that year. Oh my God!
Yeah, I agree.
You've got a couple guys back from that team, so I think that they're hungry and they want to get it done. And I think that all year long they've been one of the top 2-3 teams all year long in college basketball. I believe. Now
they've been the most consistent for sure.
Yes, and then on the other side of that, the Tar Heels. You get a team, you get a new coach. Nobody. He wasn't the sexy pick that everybody expected of North Carolina to come up with, and I think you'd agree with that. They wanted somebody that was sexier, that was, look who we got. And that is not what happened. So I look at that, but I got to give Hubert Davis one huge, huge compliment. He brought that team in. He brought some transfers in. They came in together. So they weren't used to what Roy Williams was saying. He did this, he did that. And they listened to him, and it took him a while to gel. It took them a while to come together as a unit. And I think that Duke game propelled them.
Oh yeah. That game, their confidence level went through the roof.
Yes. Because, Drew, they wasn't close. They put it on them.
Yep.
And so when I look at that, I think that gives them.
And they were blowing Baylor out. They had Baylor down 25.
Yep. Well, I just don't think nobody had respect for them. You know what I'm saying? And then let's face it, they got lucky when Kentucky got pulled out. They got lucky. Oh, yeah. Because remember earlier in the year,
Purdue.
Kentucky.
And Purdue. I think Purdue would have gave them fits.
Yeah, they've been a little tougher.
They're a bad matchup for North Carolina.
Yeah, and remember KU got spanked by Kentucky early in the year. But you know what they say is not how you start, it's how you finish. So when I look at this game,
to me, the game, it boils down to, can Carolina play at their pace? They're not going to be able to play at a KU pace. And KU's too deep, and they got too many guys they can run out of them. But Carolina likes to play up tempo, but they're going to have to play. I think the game's got to be in the high 60s, low 70s for Carolina to win. If it gets in the 80s, they're not going to win that game.
Yeah, high 70s. Low 80s, yeah.
High 70s, low 80s, KU wins the game. But if Carolina can keep it at 67, 69, 71, somewhere in that neighborhood, they'll have a chance.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there. But like I said, I think KU is on a mission. And you and I had talked about it Friday. If North Carolina wins this game, are they going to be able to respond and be able to come out emotionally? Baycott is hurt, but I will say that being said, after I thought about it a lot, that is true. But the one caveat, if you will, is the fact that if KU overlooks them and think, Baycott's hurt, they're not the same team, and they allow them to think that they can get in and play with them, KU's in trouble. And I think that if North Carolina keeps the game close, I think they have a chance to win. But
they got to be in it with 10 minutes left. It's got to be, 1-2 possession game.
Yes.
The longer they stay in it, they'll have a shot.
Yes, agreed. And
because Caleb Love can make buckets at the end of the game.
Yep. And and Love can just go. So, but I think
him and Abaji tonight's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah, you're gonna like that, aren't you? Well, they're almost the same player. Abaji's a little bit more athletic, I think, than he is.
Yep.
But that's going to be a great matchup because you got the Big 12 Player of the Year, and who was the ACC player? It wasn't him, was it? No, it wasn't him. Who was it?
It should have been Baycott. They gave it to the guy from Wake Forest. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Baycott, though, dude. God dang.
And can Baycott get big boy from KU and McCormick in foul trouble?
Well,
that's going to be a big moment.
Well, I think both of them. The other way, can he get Baycott in foul trouble? I mean, but I think the referees are going to let them play because they know those are two big physical boys. They play physical. They're both athletic. And unless it's just where he comes down and hammers them one, I don't think they're going to be giving that little body contact foul because it only takes one bad call or one little not fake, but one little call against somebody. And then they're going to get 2 or 3 just because they're just physical. And all of a sudden that third or fourth foul changes. Having 4 fouls versus 3 fouls changes completely how you look at the game and how you're going to play it and how you're going to attack it. So that's going to make a huge difference, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, then you got the nice little point guard matchup with Davis against Remy Martin.
Yep.
That's going to be a good little side matchup. And then you got to figure you'll have Leaky Black probably playing Braun. Or you got to figure it's probably Braun who he guards.
Dude, Davis matchup.
They can kind of use him as a floater.
Yeah, I got to give Davis the matchup on the point.
Oh, I think so too. I think he's better than Remy.
Yeah, I got to get a matchup on that. But the difference is that KU plays such good, strong, solid defense.
They do.
That they're not gonna give North Carolina the looks. North Carolina's gonna have to earn everything that they get. But I think there's 2 keys. One, how Baycott, if he can get 16, 17 rebounds, and if Love can go for 20, I think, and Davis goes for 18, 17, and you have Brady coming in for 12, 14, I think they've got a chance to win. But those things all have to happen, I think, to get the job done for those guys. So,
right.
But anyway, brother, where are you going to be watching the game at tonight?
In friendly confines.
Hey,
all by myself.
So is it going? It's not snowing there, right? It's just warm.
No, it's beautiful today. About 65 degrees.
65? Is that warm?
65 and sunshine.
Oh man, I don't even think it's that warm here, bro. I think we're like 62.
I have to go to my good luck spot and have a cold beer and make sure I open the door 3 times. All the good stuff, 3
times.
You got -4 and 151.5.
Okay.
I think the over. I think. Well,
hold on. Let's do this right here. Mm-hmm. Here's the Drew Henthorn HuskerDrewPicks.com. We got UNC +5 and over 151.
151.5. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, is it what? You didn't put the half on there when you sent it to me.
Yeah, it's gone up. I'm looking at the lines right here. And then I'm going to take, and then you got the odds here for the most valuable player. Abaji is +125, and then Caleb Love is right in behind him at +400.
Hey, I have a question for you. Is 5 a lot of points, Drew?
It feels like a lot. It's a lot for a title game. But then again, I mean, I'm looking here, and there's a side prop that says UNC Kansas largest lead of either team is 14.5. I don't think any team's going to be up 15.
Neither one of them's going. If KU is up 15, North Carolina's in trouble.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points. I don't see if KU is rolling like that. I don't see North Carolina having the offensive power to come back from that far down, especially with Baycott being hurt and Kansas playing defense as well as they do. And I believe they're on a mission to get Coach.
But Abaji being the player of the tournament, the MVP, that's almost even money.
Yep, I agree with that. He's played outstanding, and he was
on fire Saturday, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was. But you know what? It's so funny, because, playing with Bill Self, I always said the thing about Bill. His teams play exactly the way he coached. He's always in the right position. They're always where he needs to be. He's extremely smart. He doesn't make that many mistakes, and he doesn't beat himself.
Right.
And to beat KU, you really have to step in and just hit them in the mouth and just score over them and just do it because they're not going to give you a bunch of seconds.
Carolina's going to have to shoot it tonight to win.
Yeah, they are.
They're going to have to shoot it.
And it's going to be great, man. I'm looking forward to it now. Don't be sending me no damn pictures of all that ugly ass baby blue with your hat on and with your shoes on, your baby blue pullover, and you probably got a baby blue shirt underneath that. And Please. Just wearing me out
I
with
mean,
all
this
that.
is it. This is for all the marbles tonight. Here we go.
But you know what? You know what's even more important than this? It's Masters Week.
It is. And Tiger's going to play.
He hadn't said yet. He said he's a game time decision, but I talked about it at the beginning of the show. I think he's going to play.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Does he make what? We got to get the odds of what it is for him to make the cut.
He'll make the cut.
Mm-hmm.
He'll make the cut. I don't think, my deal with him is I'm not worried about him making the cut because he's made, 24 out of 25 cuts at the Masters, and he knows the course way too well. And I think because with his son, he hit the ball well. He just couldn't drive off that leg. So you could see that was, but he hit the ball extremely well.
Well, I think what the outside factor is walking that course.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's different. You go to walk some municipal course or, somewhere down in Jupiter, Florida. This is the Masters. It's long.
I think that's why I said in the beginning of the show, I think he went down there last Thursday or Friday to walk the course to see how he felt afterwards. And then he went back yesterday, hit for an hour. Then, of course, the back nine is where the Masters starts on Sunday. So he played the back nine after hitting the balls for an hour. So he knows that course. And, of course, they changed up supposedly some greens, which is why I think he went back. But I think that he makes the cut for Saturday. My question to him is, after 2 days walking, 12, 13 miles or whatever it is, how will he feel on Saturday morning or whenever he has to play? Now,
what's that recovery time?
Yes, because he's going to have his full team there working on it.
Oh, yeah.
You know that. So, but my question, Drew, is that for him to come back and do what he does, this is just absolutely ridiculous on what this man does. But he's like Adrian Peterson to me. These guys, they're in such magnificent shape year-round that their bodies, and with technology, their bodies just bounce back quicker, even though he's older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's going to be interesting to see what he does. I'm excited that he's even has a chance to get in the field and play. But, the question is, do you think that he'll play Thursday afternoon or Thursday morning? I say he'll play Thursday morning and then play Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon, yeah.
Because that gives him that chance.
Well, because you're going to have viewership. Your viewership on Friday is going to be more people start taking off work early Friday to go to the golf course. They're going to want to watch Tiger play
and then,
9 from 2:30 to 6.
And then also he plays that morning on Thursday. That gives him all Friday afternoon and Friday evening to get healthy. Give him all that morning to get loose or whatever, and then play in the afternoon versus going afternoon morning. So,
and when does he have to say he's playing to where they'll pair him up? When is that?
I think that's Wednesday. Wednesday. I think
so they do the par three. They do the par 3 Tuesday, right?
Yeah,
or is that Wednesday?
That's Wednesday. But Drew, I think he already knows. I think he knows if he's playing. I think the Masters knows if he's playing. I do too. I think the Masters knows if he's playing. I don't think he would.
Right, I agree with that.
I think he respects the tradition in that place way too much for him to leave them out there hanging. I think he knows. But if he shows up tomorrow, what is it, Tuesday, tomorrow, today, whatever the next deal is, because I think he flew back last night.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right. And I think the game time decision is to not to play. I think he's playing right now.
Right.
If medical reason keeps him out, then I think he's in.
Yep, because I think, he came back, he felt better, he hit balls for an hour, then he walked that back nine, he got on the plane and was like, okay, I feel pretty good. He's going to wake up this morning and he'll know. When you wake up in the morning, you and I both had injuries. That morning when you wake up after that first rehab, that ain't fun.
Mm-hmm. No.
That is not fun, so I'm excited about it.
This workout I'm about to get in today is not going to be fun because they're going to be able to bottle what I'm sweating out.
Well, you need to. Now you need to sweat out because you'll be pumping in all that alcohol in you this afternoon. Yep. So you need to sweat it out.
Got to get these nerves out.
Unbelievable. All right, brother. Appreciate you. Good show today, my friend.
All right, man. Hey, appreciate you. Well, let's talk Friday. Masters.
All right, brother. Love you. Be sweet. All right, bye. That was my boy Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. Of course, he's taking his beloved Tar Heels and that +5, and he's taking the over, which is now 121.5, and we had on the show at 121, or 151. So he's taking the over at 151.5, and the +5 taking the points, which I think that's a lot of points. But Vegas, they're usually pretty good at doing what they do. So, but anyway, I want everybody to be safe out there tonight. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Peace. Hey, enjoy the game tonight, and hope your favorite team wins. Peace out.